The night was quiet on the remote outpost of Ares Station, perched on the edge of human-colonized territory in the Vega system. Commander Alex Mason leaned back in his chair, watching the blinking lights of the orbital sensors. His day had been routine, checking systems, monitoring communications, and running drills with his small team. For someone who had spent years fighting in the far reaches of space, the monotony was both a relief and a kind of torment. He missed the adrenaline of real combat, the rush of danger, but peace had its own weight. He rubbed his eyes and sipped the bitter coffee that had gone cold hours ago. A quiet hum filled the room, the soft vibration of the station's power systems. Then a sharp ping on the communications console cut through the silence. Alex sat up straight. Distress signals from human settlements were common enough, but this one was different. The code didn't match any human colony protocol. The signal was alien. Alex's fingers moved quickly across the controls, scanning the transmission. The language was unfamiliar, a mixture of tonal clicks and melodic hums that resonated like music. Somehow, it felt urgent, desperate. He frowned. His instincts screamed caution, but another part of him, the part that had survived countless missions, urged curiosity. He keyed the response channel, trying to send a neutral acknowledgement. Nothing. Before he could analyze further, the station's external sensors detected movement near the landing pad. Alex frowned again. No ship had been scheduled to arrive. The radar showed a single vessel descending slowly through the planet's thin atmosphere. Its shape was sleek, unlike any human design he had ever seen. It was elongated with curved edges that shimmered under the station's floodlights. The ship touched down softly and the airlock hissed as it opened. A figure stepped out. Alex froze. The alien woman was taller than a human, with a slender yet powerful build. Her skin shimmered faintly in the dim light, a subtle gradient that shifted with her movements. She was barefoot. Her robe, long and flowing, slipped slightly from her shoulders, revealing a hint of armor underneath, delicate, yet clearly functional. She moved with a confidence that made Alex feel both cautious and strangely curious. Her eyes, large and luminous, met his across the landing pad. She spoke, and the words were clear in a way he hadn't expected. "You're mine tonight," she said, her voice melodic but firm. There was no threat in her tone, yet it carried authority and purpose. Alex's training screamed warning, but he couldn't look away. He took a step forward. "Who are you? What do you want?" "My name is Leora," she replied. "My people are in danger. A rogue faction has risen among us. They seek to destroy everything we've built. I need a human ally to help protect my world." Alex blinked. Humans and aliens had cooperated before, but direct requests like this were rare, and the confidence in her voice suggested she was more than just desperate. She wasn't pleading, she was commanding. He studied her carefully. There was no weapon in her hand, but he could see the faint glow along her arms and chest, a subtle energy field that seemed to pulse with life. Leora wasn't just a visitor. She was a warrior, a leader, someone used to command and control. "What makes you think I can help?" Alex asked. "Because you are human," she said simply. "Your people are brave, clever, and capable of acts no one else dares. Tonight that will be proven again." Her words were enigmatic, almost teasing, yet there was seriousness underneath. Alex felt a strange mixture of tension and curiosity. Humans had always adapted quickly in dire situations, and here was a test. He couldn't resist it, even if part of him wanted to run drills, check the sensors, and call for backup. "Fine," he said finally. "But we do this on my terms. You follow my orders when we are inside my station, and I make the decisions for any human personnel involved." Leora nodded. "I accept your terms, Commander, but understand this. Your orders will not always be enough. Some choices must be made together." Alex didn't respond immediately. He felt the weight of the coming hours pressing against him. Something about her presence, the calm in her eyes, the determination in her movements, suggested this mission would be unlike any he had faced before. By the time they reached the station's main hangar, Alex had organized a small team. Lieutenant Kara Jin and Sergeant Malik Rowe were already in position, scanning the alien vessel for anomalies. Leora moved through the hangar with ease, barefoot on the cold metal floor, ignoring the curious stares from human crew members. She didn't seem human, but she wasn't threatening them, at least not yet. The first obstacle appeared almost immediately. The rogue faction she mentioned was already on the move, sending drones and scouts to monitor the station. Alex realized their mission wouldn't be as simple as protecting her. They had to anticipate and neutralize threats without causing panic among the human population. Leora demonstrated a strange and graceful way of moving, slipping past sensors and avoiding detection. She communicated through subtle gestures and telepathic pulses Alex didn't fully understand, but he quickly learned to follow her lead. By combining human tactics with her alien instincts, they managed to avoid triggering any alarms while moving toward the station's secure command hub. The first real danger came when an unexpected security breach was detected in the station's energy core. A small team of rogue drones had infiltrated the outer perimeter, moving faster than the human defenses could react. Alex grabbed a rifle and took position, his heart pounding. Beside him, Leora extended her hand, and a pulse of energy shot forward, disabling the drones in seconds. Alex barely had time to blink before they collapsed in sparks and smoke. He stared at her. That was incredible. She nodded, her eyes serious. It is why I asked for your help. Alone, you might survive, but together, we can protect both our worlds. As they worked through the night, Alex began to understand the depth of her abilities. Leora was not just a fighter. She was a strategist, able to anticipate enemy movements with uncanny precision. She guided him through the station's defenses, showing him how to combine his human ingenuity with her alien technology. By dawn, the immediate threats had been neutralized. The station's crew was safe, and the rogue drones had been destroyed or captured. Yet Alex knew this was only the beginning. Leora's words echoed in his mind. "You're mine tonight." Now he understood they were not just about possession. They were a declaration of trust, a statement of partnership in the chaos that was sure to follow. They stood on the observation deck, looking out over the planet below. The sun had risen, casting golden light over the rugged terrain. Leora, still barefoot, stood close to him, her robe fluttering slightly in the breeze from the open hatch. For a moment, the tension eased, replaced by a sense of purpose. They were allies now, bound by necessity and courage, facing dangers that neither could handle alone. Alex felt a strange respect for this alien woman who had arrived so suddenly and claimed such authority. She had challenged him, demanded his trust, and proven her strength. And though he wouldn't admit it yet, he felt a connection that went beyond strategy or survival, a shared understanding that tonight, they had begun something that neither fully understood but both would honor. As the station prepared for the next phase of their mission, Alex reviewed the data they had gathered from Leora's ship and the drones. The rogue faction was more dangerous than he had imagined, with access to weapons and technologies that could devastate both human and alien settlements. But now, with Leora at his side, he felt capable of facing whatever came next. He turned to her and she met his gaze calmly, almost challengingly. "Tomorrow we go to your planet," he said. "We find their base and we stop them." She smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and something else, something human he couldn't yet name. "I would expect nothing less, Commander. Be ready. Tonight was only the beginning." Alex nodded. He felt a surge of determination. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and with Leora's help, they would face these as well. Together, human and alien, they would navigate danger, battle treachery, and perhaps discover something more about trust, loyalty, and courage than either had known before. And somewhere deep inside, he knew the phrase she had whispered when she first arrived, "You're mine tonight," was no longer a warning. It was a promise of partnership, of challenge, and of a mission that would test both their limits. As night turned fully to dawn, Alex Mason prepared himself for the journey ahead. There would be danger, betrayal, and tests of courage unlike anything he had faced. But with Leora by his side, he felt ready to meet it all. Humanity had a chance to shine in the farthest reaches of space, and he was determined to make sure they did. The stars outside the observation deck seemed to burn brighter than usual, as if acknowledging the beginning of a new alliance. Alex knew this night would be remembered, not just for the battle they had survived, but for the bond that had begun, forged in trust, courage, and the promise of something greater. And somewhere in the quiet between moments, he felt that the real challenge, the one that would define both human and alien, was only just beginning. The shuttle cut through the thin atmosphere of Leora's homeworld with precise speed. Alex sat rigidly in his seat, eyes glued to the viewport. Below stretched a land of sharp cliffs, dense forests of strange, crystalline trees, and rivers that shimmered like liquid metal. The planet was alive in ways Alex had never imagined, both beautiful and threatening. Every shadow seemed to hold potential danger. Leora sat across from him, barefoot and calm, her robe flowing over the seat as if it had a life of its own. She didn't need restraints, she simply focused, hands folded, exuding control and quiet strength. Alex studied her. She was a mystery, a combination of elegance, power, and intellect that made him realize how much he still didn't know about the universe. "Stay alert," she said suddenly, her voice cutting through his thoughts. "The rogue faction knows we are coming. They are already moving to intercept us." Alex nodded, gripping the edge of his seat. He had faced ambushes before, but something about this planet's wild, unpredictable environment made him uneasy. He was used to structured battlefields. Here, the terrain itself was an opponent. As the shuttle landed softly on a clearing near a dense forest, Leora leaped down first, landing without a sound. Alex followed, boots crunching against the alien soil. He noticed how delicate her feet were, yet every step seemed measured and powerful. The forest around them hummed with alien life, strange sounds echoing through crystalline branches. Leora gestured to a narrow path between the trees. "We must move quickly. The rogue faction's patrols are near. If we are seen, they will alert the entire base." Alex followed, feeling a mixture of awe and tension. The forest was mesmerizing, but it was also dangerous. He could sense hidden predators watching from the shadows, some moving with intelligence, others purely instinct. Leora led with an instinctive grace, ducking low under crystalline branches, her eyes scanning constantly. Hours passed as they navigated the forest. They encountered creatures unlike anything Alex had imagined: giant, luminous insects, swift four-legged predators, and plants that moved in subtle, almost predatory ways. Leora taught him quickly: observe, anticipate, move with purpose. She showed him how to read the environment, how to anticipate threats before they struck. During one tense moment, a large predator lunged from the shadows. Alex froze, unsure how to react, but Leora's hand shot out. A pulse of energy radiated from her and the creature collapsed, stunned but alive. Alex exhaled sharply. "You make it look easy." Leora's eyes were serious. "Easy is never the word. I have trained my whole life for survival." "You have talent, human, but instinct alone will not be enough." As they continued, Alex noticed something remarkable. He was learning from her, adapting to a world completely alien to him. He began to anticipate danger, to move more fluidly through the terrain, and to trust Leora's judgment instinctively. Each challenge made them stronger as a team. By evening, they reached a high ridge overlooking a valley. Below, a sprawling compound glowed faintly, clearly artificial against the natural landscape. The rogue faction had built a base here, combining advanced technology with the planet's natural defenses. Towers emitted pulses of energy that interfered with sensors, and armored guards patrolled the perimeter. Leora crouched beside Alex. "This is their stronghold. If we approach openly, we will be destroyed. We must use stealth and precision. You will follow my lead." "Every choice is life or death," Alex nodded, feeling a surge of determination. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and this was no different. He adjusted his gear and checked his rifle, preparing for whatever lay ahead. They descended carefully into the valley under cover of night. Leora moved with uncanny silence, blending with shadows and light in ways that seemed almost supernatural. Alex followed, learning to move without noise, to rely on instincts he didn't know he had. As they approached the compound, they discovered a patrol of armored soldiers. Leora signaled him to hide. He pressed against the crystalline trunk of a tree, heart pounding. Leora raised her hand, and in a pulse of light, the patrol was frozen for a few moments, giving them a chance to slip past undetected. Alex marveled at her control, realizing that without her, he would never have survived even this far. Inside the compound, the technology was advanced, alien, yet strangely familiar. Leora explained that this faction had once been part of her people, but had turned to violence, seeking control of the energy core at the planet's center. If they succeeded, they could destabilize the planet entirely. Humanity and her people alike would be at risk. Alex's mind raced. He had faced enemies before, but this was different. It wasn't just a battle of strength. It was a battle of strategy, cunning, and intelligence. The rogue faction had knowledge, weapons, and control over the planet's energy in ways Alex had never encountered. But alongside Leora, he felt capable. They reached a control hub inside the compound. Guards patrolled in patterns, and Alex quickly learned to anticipate their moves. Leora whispered instructions, teaching him to coordinate silently, to use timing and observation to their advantage. Together, they moved through the compound, disabling security systems and avoiding direct confrontation whenever possible. Suddenly, an alarm blared. One of the guards had detected movement they hadn't accounted for. Alex felt adrenaline surge through him. "We're spotted," he said. Leora didn't panic. "Stay close. Follow me exactly." She leaped onto a raised platform, activating a device that sent a pulse of energy, temporarily disabling the guards. Alex ran, keeping pace, feeling the thrill of danger and the rush of teamwork. They fought through the compound with precision and speed. Alex used both his human ingenuity and the tactics Leora had taught him, creating diversions, disabling weapons, and neutralizing enemies without unnecessary violence. Leora's skills complemented his perfectly. Each encounter strengthened their trust, their coordination, and their respect for one another. Finally, they reached the inner chamber where the rogue faction's leader awaited. The figure was imposing, armored and armed with a weapon that radiated energy. Alex froze for a moment, but Leora's hand on his shoulder grounded him. "You have courage," the leader said, voice echoing through the chamber. "But courage alone cannot save you." Leora stepped forward. "It is not courage alone, it is partnership, strategy, and trust. That is why you will fail." The battle was intense but swift. Alex and Leora combined their abilities, using quick thinking, agility, and energy pulses to disarm and incapacitate the rogue leader. When the fight ended, the enemy was defeated, the base secured, and the energy core safe. Alex exhaled, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. Leora stood beside him, barefoot and steady, her robe slightly torn, yet her posture proud and commanding. She looked at him with a calm intensity. "You have proven yourself," she said softly, almost in a whisper but with undeniable weight. "You are worthy of trust, human. You have earned it." Alex looked at her, realizing that the phrase she had spoken when she first arrived, "You're mine tonight," was no longer a threat. It was a statement of partnership, trust, and mutual respect. They had faced impossible odds together and survived. Humanity had shown its value once more, and in doing so, Alex felt a connection with Leora that transcended words. As they prepared to leave the rogue base, Alex noticed the planet's horizon glowing with early dawn. He felt a deep sense of accomplishment. The mission had been dangerous, but it had also revealed something important. Humans could survive, adapt, and thrive even in the most alien environments. Leora turned to him, her expression softer now, almost human in its subtle warmth. "Tomorrow, we return to my people," she said. "They must see that humanity can be trusted, that you are not just a visitor but a warrior worthy of their respect." Alex nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity had always faced threats, challenges, and the unknown. This was just another example of courage, skill, and ingenuity overcoming obstacles. As they walked back to their shuttle, Alex realized something else. Beyond the battle, beyond the survival, there was a bond forming, one forged in trust, shared danger, and mutual respect. He didn't fully understand it yet, but he knew it was real, and it would guide them through whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars above seemed brighter than before, as if acknowledging the courage and partnership that had been tested and proven. Alex and Leora prepared for the journey back to her people, knowing that the real challenges were yet to come, but confident, for the first time, that together they could face anything. And somewhere in the quiet moments between steps, Alex understood fully. This alien warrior, barefoot and commanding, had shown him something he had always known in the depths of his soul. Humanity could rise above danger, overcome fear, and create bonds that span the stars. They boarded the shuttle, ready to return, ready for recognition, and ready for whatever the future held. Humanity had proven itself, and Alex Mason had proven something to himself, that even in the most alien of worlds, courage, intelligence, and trust could make anything possible. And as the shuttle lifted off, leaving the rogue base behind, Alex felt the weight of responsibility, but also the thrill of possibility. Tomorrow, they would face her people. Tomorrow, humanity would take another step in proving its worth across the stars. And tonight, they had survived. The shuttle descended slowly toward Leora's capital city, a vast sprawl of towering structures and shimmering streets that reflected the light of the planet's twin suns. Alex Mason stared out of the viewport, trying to take it all in. The city was alive, vibrant, and at the same time tense. He could feel the undercurrent of vigilance among its people. Leora's warning had been clear. Not everyone would welcome them, not everyone would trust a human. Leora remained calm beside him, her bare feet lightly touching the shuttle floor, her posture straight and commanding. Her eyes, large and luminescent, scanned the city below. "We must act carefully," she said. "My people have suffered from betrayal. They will test you. You must prove humanity's value not just through strength, but through judgment, courage, and wisdom." Alex nodded, tightening the straps on his gear. He had faced hostile terrain, rogue factions, and alien predators, but this challenge was different. It wasn't just about survival. It was about proving that humans could be allies, partners, and leaders in a world far from home. As the shuttle touched down in a secure landing zone, a small group of Leora's advisors approached. They were tall, imposing, and dressed in ceremonial armor that glimmered with energy. Their eyes were sharp, assessing, and full of doubt. Alex felt their scrutiny immediately. "Commander Mason," one of them said in a tone both respectful and questioning, "why should we trust a human? Your species has history but also unpredictability. How can we be certain you will not betray us?" Alex stepped forward, keeping his tone calm but firm. "Because I am here to protect, to assist, and to ensure that your people survive. I do not act for myself. I act for the mission, for what is right, and for those who cannot defend themselves. That is human strength. That is why you can trust us." There was a pause. Leora stepped beside him, placing a hand lightly on his arm. "He speaks truth," she said. I have seen his courage, his skill, and his judgment. Humanity can stand with us." The advisors studied him, and after a long moment they nodded. It was not full acceptance, but it was enough. The next step was clear. The energy core at the center of the city was unstable, tampered with by the rogue faction before their defeat. If left unchecked, it could destroy the city and countless lives. Alex and Leora moved swiftly through the city streets, navigating crowds that were wary but curious. They reached the core's control chamber, a massive structure of crystalline walls and pulsing energy. The room was vast, filled with complex alien machinery that glowed with internal light. Alex felt a familiar thrill of challenge. Humanity had always risen to the occasion when facing impossible technology. Leora guided him through the systems. "We need to stabilize the energy core before it overloads. It requires both precision and understanding. I will handle the energy alignment, but you must coordinate the external controls to balance the system." Alex studied the console, noting the alien symbols and intricate mechanisms. It was complex, but not beyond human ingenuity. He focused, adjusting levers, pressing sequences, and calibrating energy flows according to Leora's guidance. The room hummed with power, light flickering across their faces. A sudden surge of energy erupted, threatening to overwhelm them. Alex reacted instinctively, rerouting power and stabilizing the system before it could cause catastrophic damage. Leora watched closely, impressed. "You are learning quickly. Your instincts complement mine. Together, we can accomplish what neither could alone." Minutes stretched into tension-filled hours as they worked tirelessly. The energy core pulsed violently, testing their coordination and resolve. Alex adjusted, recalibrated, and anticipated shifts in the energy flow. Leora's hands glowed as she channeled her power, aligning the core's output with precise control. Finally, with a synchronized effort, the energy core stabilized. The room's glow softened, the hum of raw power becoming steady and safe. Alex exhaled, feeling a surge of accomplishment. Leora's eyes met his, a mixture of relief, respect, and something deeper. "You have done it," she said softly, "not just for my people, but for humanity. You have proven courage, intelligence, and honor. You are worthy of trust." Alex nodded, catching his breath. "We did it together. That is the point." Outside, the city erupted in cautious celebration. Citizens emerged from their homes, curious and relieved to see the threat neutralized. Alex felt a sense of pride. Humanity had been tested and they had passed. Leora's people had witnessed firsthand what humans were capable of, not just strength, but collaboration, ingenuity, and selflessness. In the aftermath, Leora led Alex to a high balcony overlooking the city. The twin suns were setting, casting golden light across spires and streets. The air was alive with energy, both literal and metaphorical. "You have exceeded my expectations," Leora said, her voice carrying a rare warmth. "You are not just a human warrior. You are a partner, a friend, and someone I can rely on." Alex looked at her, seeing not just the alien leader but the warrior who had guided, challenged, and trusted him. "I didn't do it for recognition," he replied. "I did it because it was the right thing to do. That is what humans do. That is who we are." Leora smiled faintly, a gesture that carried more meaning than words. "Then you have proven something far more important than skill or strength. You have proven that humanity can rise above fear, beyond doubt, and stand alongside any species to protect what is good and just." The moment was quiet, yet profound. Alex realized that their journey, through danger, uncertainty, and alien worlds, had forged a bond that transcended differences. They were partners not just in battle, but in vision, courage, and trust. Later, as night fell over the city, Alex and Leora walked through quiet streets. Citizens watched from a distance, some with curiosity, some with admiration. Leora remained barefoot, her presence commanding yet graceful, her robe flowing lightly with each step. Alex followed, aware of the respect and recognition growing around them. They reached a secluded terrace overlooking the city's energy core, now safe and stable. Alex felt a sense of calm he had not known since leaving Earth. The mission was complete, the danger neutralized, and a lasting connection between human and alien had been forged. Leora turned to him, her expression serious but gentle. "Alex, you have shown courage, skill, and honor. But more than that, you have shown empathy, trust, and partnership. That is why I said what I did the first night you arrived. It was not a claim of possession, it was a promise." Alex felt the weight of her words. He remembered the night she had appeared on the landing pad, barefoot and commanding, saying, "You're mine tonight." Now he understood the meaning. It was about trust, partnership, and shared responsibility. It was about facing danger together and emerging stronger. "I understand now," he said quietly. "It wasn't just about me. It was about us, humanity and your people, working together to survive and protect what matters." Leora nodded, her eyes reflecting the city lights. "Exactly. And tonight, you have proven that humanity is more than capable. You are worthy of trust, respect, and partnership. Together, we can face any challenge that comes." For a moment, they stood silently, overlooking the city. The hum of energy, the glow of lights, and the distant stars created a sense of wonder and possibility. Alex felt a profound respect for this alien world and for the warrior who had challenged him, guided him, and trusted him. As they returned to the shuttle preparing to leave the city, Alex reflected on the journey. They had faced rogue factions, wild terrain, and advanced alien technology. They had learned to rely on each other, combining human ingenuity with alien skill. And through it all, they had forged a bond that would last far beyond this mission. The shuttle lifted off, leaving the city safe, the energy core stabilized, and a new alliance formed. Alex looked at Leora, who remained calm and confident. "We've done well," he said. "Yes," she replied, "but this is only the beginning. The galaxy is full of challenges and humanity has shown it is ready. That is why you are important. That is why we are important together." Alex smiled faintly. "Then we face it together, whatever comes next." Leora's eyes reflected something almost human in their depth, pride, respect, and a quiet warmth. "Yes, together." The stars outside stretched infinitely, full of mystery, danger, and promise. Alex Mason felt a sense of purpose, a certainty that humanity had a place among the stars. They had proven their courage, intelligence, and resilience. They had formed bonds that transcended worlds. And as the shuttle soared through space, leaving Leora's planet behind, Alex knew one truth above all. Humans could rise above fear, adapt to any challenge, and stand alongside any species. They were capable, they were brave, and they were worthy. And with Leora by his side, Alex Mason was ready for whatever the galaxy had in store. Together, human and alien, warrior and commander, they would face the unknown and prove that humanity could shine in the stars.